Good evening. This is Maestro Gratella with the Dawn of War 3 cast. Today, we have a 1v1 on Charon's Rest. Our first player is bikerushownz, playing as the Eldar. As his elites, he has chosen Autarch Kyre, Striking Scorpions, and the Wraithlord. His opponent is Deadline, playing as the Space Marines. As his elites, he has chosen the Venerable Dreadnought, Gabriel Angelos, and Librarian Jonah, Orion. Now, this game right here is actually not just a casual game. This is the finals of one of the ESL tournaments. I think this is for the Europe ESL tournament for this past weekend. Although in practice, it doesn't actually seem to matter that much whether it's Europe or North America. It seems like both tournaments are open to anyone, and players from different regions will enter both tournaments. In fact, I think bikerushownz entered both the Europe and the North America tournament for this weekend. And our players right here, now, bikerushownz, he may actually be the best Dawn of War 3 player at the moment. It's possible. He's definitely won a lot of tournaments so far. And even if he isn't the best, he's definitely one of the best players. And I believe he comes from Command & Conquer, possibly even other games, but I believe he was a good Command & Conquer player. And it's actually now starting to make sense to me that the good Dawn of War 3 players are not necessarily Dawn of War 2 players. They're coming from other games instead. Since I feel like Dawn of War 2 was actually so different that I don't think the skills that would make someone good at Dawn of War 2 are really directly transferable to Dawn of War 3. Anyway, Assault Marine is going to jump again, and another squad of Assault Marines, so we're seeing kind of meta builds from both players. The Assault Marine opening from our Space Marine player Deadline, as well as the Dire Avenger opening from our Eldar player bikerushownz. I think a big thing that makes the Assault Marines kind of such an early game force for Space Marines is how much disruption they get. Because unlike Dawn of War 2, where you could really only jump like once, the Assault Marines in this game get multiple charges. And now, before anyone gets on my case, I know that it's possible. Well, actually, in Dawn of War 2, there are certain cases where you can actually jump multiple times, really 2 times in quick succession. Don't want to go all the way into detail about that right now, but basically you get 2 charges of jump for Assault Marines, and you even get the Assault Leap ability if you also have that doctrine. So a lot of aggressive potential. It can really jump around the battlefield a lot. This particular Assault Marine squad looks like it's about a 5-second cooldown in between charges. So you can jump once, then there's a 5-second cooldown, then you can jump again. And then if you have the Assault Leap ability, you get a 3rd jump. So Assault Marines can just jump all over the place. Here are the scouts from... and now they're not there anymore. We'll do a magic trick. Here are scouts, and now they're gone. And scouts by default are infiltrated, and that's why he was probably running them around in that position, because he was assuming his scouts were infiltrated. But Bone Singers are a detector unit, and that's why we see this Bone Singer perhaps a little bit forward. The detection radius, that's the regular detection radius, but we can see the area detection ability, which allows it to detect in a much larger area, has actually been used because it's on cooldown now. So Striking Scorpions already on the field for bikerushownz. Looks like he is going to push for this shield generator early on, and this is part of why the Striking Scorpions are considered rather good as an early game elite. Very good for making an early push on the shield generators, especially with their true damage special attacks. I mean, this shield generator is almost half dead, I think. And it's just continuing to take damage. So Assault Marine's going to jump in. Here's the second squad of Assault Marines jumping in, but here are a bunch of Dire Avengers to back up, and then the Striking Scorpions just run out. And then they're committing, again, now that they have the support of the Dire Avengers. And this is honestly not looking good for the Assault Marines. We have a Scout Squad right here. offering whatever DPS they can, but they really offer very little DPS, and their grenade is on cooldown. So we're going to see one squad of Assault Marines go down. This is not looking good at all for Deadline. So the Scouts, man, I mean, as much as they are supposed to be a meta unit right now, they definitely seem to have their limitations. So we're going to see one shield generator. That's going to go down. Or it's going to be captured and then shielded by the Assault Marines. And now it will be finished now that the Assault Marines are backed off. So it appears the way it works, if you have a unit inside that area, you can basically create a shield that will stall out. So not looking good, especially with bikerushownz at this point. He gets that influx of resources from destroying a shield generator. Hard to remember exactly, but I believe it was 500, maybe it was 500 requisition, 50 power, and 1 elite point, I think. You know, really going to have to just watch it again next time, and then try to commit it to memory. So, I mean, the Scouts, here are the Scouts, and their DPS really is actually pretty bad. But they're nevertheless what people are building right now. And I think it's mostly just the use of that blind grenade. I think it basically is the blind grenade that is making this unit a thing. Does have a doctrine that, it does have a doctrine that increases the damage of the Scouts when they attack from infiltration. You know, honestly, even with that bonus, I can't imagine it being that significant considering how bad their base damage is. There's Jonah Orion, uses shield wall, or sorry, stone wall, but I think the striking scorpions just jumped out. And now that they've jumped out, I think they are just going to overwhelm Jonah. And this is another thing why I think the striking scorpions are considered such a strong early game elite. I think one-on-one, I think they just win most fights one-on-one. So even against most other elites, again, even against most other probably other 2-point elites, possibly even 3-point elites, I think it's gonna take something like Gabriel Angelos to actually deal with the striking scorpions, and even then I'm not sure. But I just think of Gabriel Angelos because of all the disruption he can do. A little bit of a delay, but we do have the striking scorpions on deadline sign. Well, Jonah's down. Gonna have to wait about 2 minutes before he can call Jonah back. We have lots of listening posts up for our Eldar player, so he's gonna have to deadline will have to commit if he actually wants to take those out. Meanwhile, we have an arsenal being built, and this seems really strange for me. I mean, I understand why you would build a forward barracks or doctrine chapel, because you can use that as a reinforcement point. It also heals. I'm pretty sure the arsenal does not do that, so I think it would be better off being farther back at a safer spot. Ooh, what we do see though is the Assault Marines have been upgraded with power swords, so they've got, we can see it, the power swords. They also have the effect, and the power swords change their damage to true damage, so now they have 72 DPS true damage, and I think also when, I think, aside from getting the true damage, I think that's also just a damage buff. Like, I think they had less than 72 DPS when they had just their chainswords. Nevertheless, one squad of Assault Marines does go down. Now, one of the things about getting those power swords, as good as they can be, they're not actually going to help very much at all against these striking scorpions. The striking scorpions have normal armor, so there is not going to be much of a damage increase against the striking scorpions. It's mostly, in fact, I'm not actually sure if I like the power sword upgrade that much. And the main thing that it got him was that he was able to nearly destroy the generator. Nearly destroy the generator because, nearly destroyed the generator. And it could help him potentially with the Falcon, but I feel like if the Falcon is microed, it shouldn't. Ooh, the Falcon has the focus shield ability. Hard to get a look at these things because you have to click on. Actually, I believe I can do it here. No.
Battle has escalated to phase
Alright, I'm going to stop trying to chase that around, but it does have... Alright, I can see the focus shield here. And so the Falcon has this focus shield ability. It's doctrinal. And the thing about it is that it says it just absorbs shots, and I'm pretty sure that basically means the Falcon is basically invulnerable during the duration of the focus shield, which, I mean, if you think about it, is very, very powerful. Literally press a button for temporary invulnerability. One thing that I should add there is that it does say shot absorber. So it's probably only blocking ranged damage and not melee damage. Not 100% sure here, but the game is also not great about, well, communicating this. So the power core... Wow. So the power core is not exposed, so instead actually damages the stronghold a little bit. Manages to go around the radii of the two turrets, since they do not overlap, and there is a little bit of a middle spot where he can actually go towards the stronghold. That's actually an interesting question. I mean, what happens if you destroy your opponent's stronghold or webway assembly? Meanwhile, we'll just look at this instead. So, not able to destroy the shield generator at this point. It is shielded because all of these units are here, and it looks like this does not look good for Deadline. I mean, he's got 3 squads of Assault Marines, but they're being chased down by a Falcon. I have a feeling all of them are going to go down. 2 Falcons. The Falcons are faster than the Assault Marines. That should be the end of the Assault Marines. And we're also going to see the barracks is possibly going to go down. And that is actually the end of the game, which makes sense. His production structure was about to be destroyed, and then, I mean, what is he going to do from there? Build tactical marines? Only has 450 requisition. No way he's going to be able to deal with the Falcons anymore at this point. So, short game, but it is a tournament game, and people aren't just playing for your entertainment. They're trying to win. Hope you enjoyed it nevertheless. Have a good night.